Thanks for watching us tonight. The death of Prince may shed some light on the drug epidemic in America, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. The nation mourning the 57-year-old pop star who sold 100 million albums in his career. I never met Prince, but I saw him perform, and he was spectacular. Many reports say he was a nice guy, and certainly he deserves the accolades he is getting. Out of respect for Prince's family, we will not delve into his personal situation, but there are reports that he was drug involved. And that leads us to an epidemic in America that is largely out of control, yet the powerful are running away from it. The essential problem is a combination of prescription painkillers, things like Percocet, which Prince may have been using after an operation, and OxyContin. Those legal drugs have addicted millions, and now we have a flood of cheap heroin and other opioids sweeping through the nation. The stats are grim. In 2014, more than 28,000 Americans died from opioid overdoses, a record level that led to a 200% increase in overdose fatalities since the year 2000. According to the federal government, from 2013 to 2014, heroin use among Americans rose 51%. That is catastrophic in 1 year. So there's no question the epidemic's underway, and few people understand how severe it is or what to do about it. You guys
5 o'clock in the morning, I'm boarding a plane in Dallas Airport, and my son Ben calls me, and he says, "Dad, Aaron overdosed again." And I says, "Whoa, what do you mean?" He says, "Aaron overdosed again." And I automatically was thinking, okay, what hospital is he at? Where did they take him? And he says he didn't make it.
Over the years, there have been literally millions of stories like that one. And it's simply stunning that our culture has evolved to a point where the sale and use of hard narcotics is now acceptable. President Obama is leading the way on this, classifying drug dealing, hard drug dealing, as a, quote, nonviolent crime. That sends a signal to the country that, you know what, it may be illegal to sell drugs, but it's not all that bad. And the left is generally supporting the madness. Is selling heroin and crack on the street a violent crime?
What I'm saying is that whites and blacks
an easy question. Can you answer that
at the same
question?
rate? But
Russell,
95% of the people who are incarcerated.
Am I invisible? Are you not hearing me? Are you not hearing me?
Versus white. I don't think selling drugs is a violent crime.
And that is the prevailing wisdom on the left. And on the youth side, there's no judgment either. The legalization of pot, now favored by the majority of Americans. And although marijuana is not even close to heroin and other hard drugs in a destructive capacity, again, pot acceptance sends a signal. When I grew up in Levittown, a suburb of New York City, heroin and other hard drugs were rare until the Vietnam War came in. Then some vets in my neighborhood returned from Southeast Asia addicted to heroin, called horse back then. However, anyone who sold hard drugs in the neighborhood was a pariah, an outcast, a vile human being. That person might even be beaten up. And those who used narcotics were also stigmatized, at least for a while, until the sex, drugs, and rock and roll culture kicked in. The if it feels good, do it philosophy taking root. The damage that acceptance of narcotics brought was enormous. A few of my friends are dead. Others spent time in prison. Today, the drug culture running wild in America. And the vicious cartels, largely operating out of Mexico, are taking full advantage of that. Tons of hard drugs come across the Mexican border. Everybody knows that. Yet the Democratic Party doesn't want a wall or to militarize the border. And if you're arrested for selling heroin in the USA or other opioids on the street, chances are you'll not get serious prison time until you're caught 5 or 6 times. So you can see the permissive atmosphere surrounding the use of hard drugs is now taking a very serious toll on the country. Pretty much every American knows some family that's been grossly harmed by drug use. It is long past time for powerful people to stop enabling the drug business. The use of pot by children is an atrocity. The addictive capacities of heroin and other painkillers is enormous. Once a person becomes drug involved, his or her whole life changes negatively. Yet where are the anti-drug crusaders? Where are they? They're mocked by many in the media. They're dismissed on college campuses. They're seen as uncool by many in the culture. Nancy Reagan's message was simple: just say no. That message today: it doesn't matter if you say yes, you're a victim. And the thugs who provide the poison are low-level offenders who should not be harshly punished. That's a disgrace. It's shameful. The drug culture is not a positive in any way for this country or for any citizen in it. We are reaping what our cowardly leaders have sown: a drug epidemic that cuts across all boundaries. That is the message that should be loud and clear in the media. People selling hard drugs are not nonviolent offenders. They are killing the weak and addicted at a historically high rate. Countries like Singapore have stopped the madness by instituting tough anti-drug policies at all levels. But the West will not do that. And so the carnage will continue. And that's